right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2017 PWBA Fountain Valley Open. We have reached the match play portion of the event. The top 12 players have been determined. We're using pairs beginning with lane 33 on down to 52. Right now we are watching Liz Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe on 41 and 42. Our other featured pair is 45 and 46. It features Verity Crawley and Shayna Ung. Along with Matt Canizaro, my name is Emil Williams Jr. Getting down to, of course, our portion of the event where we will determine at least 2 players who will be part of the TV finals to be taped next week, or excuse me. What's today's date? 13th. Almost next week. About 10 days from now. May 23rd is the exact date that the Fountain Valley Open will be taped. And then it will air on one of the best days in the world, June 20th. Only reason I said that is because it's my real birthday.
So that's one of your 2 birthdays.
I was ready for you. I knew you were coming with that.
So the question is, are you going to spend your birthday watching bowling on CBS Sports Network?
I am. I'm probably in Green Bay, because that is the week of the Players Championship. Go bowling. WBA Players Championship.
There's a possibility I'll be there with you.
How about that? Amazing how things work in 2017. Isn't that something? Good shot there from O'Keefe. He's got some fans in the crowd. And our top 12, just going from left to right and where we are from a pair perspective. Kelly Kulick. Taking on Cherie Tan here in game number 1. Daphne Tan. Taking on Maria Jose Rodriguez. Of course, the groups, or match play, I should say, broken down into 2 groups. Don't forget that. Well, many of you know the drill at this point. Some may, if you're just joining us. The top 12 are broken down into 2 groups, A and B, by seed, where you finished after the cashier's round. So odds in one group, evens in another. So, for example, Kelly Kulick, the top overall leader by 9 pins. That'll be another story to keep an eye on, of course, especially as we get towards the position round. The top overall seed could be on the line. Right now it would be between Kelly Kulick and Clara Guerrero. Kelly, top seed, which would be in Group A. And then Clara Guerrero, number 2 overall, but is currently the top seed in Group B. Others in Group A would be, again, Kulick, Daphne Tan, 3rd. Maria Jose Rodriguez in 5th. Cassandra Leuthold in 7th. You're going to get Poppler in 9th and Cherie Tan in 11th. I'll go over that one more time. And your odds currently, Kulick at +381, Tan at +242, Rodriguez at +228, Crawley, who actually tied with Cassandra Leuthold for 7th. The tiebreaker was the player who had the highest round. That belonged to Verity Crawley, so she gets the 7th seed. In 9th, again, Birgit Poppler from Germany, +172, and Cherie Tan is 11th at +160. That would be Group A. Group B would be Clara Guerrero, of course, the leader there at +372. Liz Johnson would be 4th, +232. Shannon O'Keefe would be 3rd at +193, 6th overall, but 3rd in Group B. And Cassandra Leuthold at +175 would follow. Then Shayna at +165. And the last to make match play today was Tannya Roumimper from Indonesia at +148. Bonus pins. You get 30, of course, for a victory. So keep that in mind as you're scoring at home. Another good shot there for O'Keefe. Early 3-bagger, 7 spare, and back on it with a strike in frame number 5. In a moment, we'll take a look at 45 and 46. Verity Crawley and Shayna. Jazreel Tan just missed the cut. Part of the Singapore contingent this week, last week, and on to the Queens. They will add a few more players next week for the Queens. Bernice Lim, of course, the defending champion from Singapore. She will be in attendance. Other matches ongoing here in game number 1. Birgit Poppler and Cassandra Leuthold. Looks like Tannya Roumimper taking on Clara Guerrero.
Liz Johnson trying to double up here and make up some pins on O'Keefe. Unable to do so. Leaves the 6'10 on lane 42. She trails at the halfway point of this opening match. And Emil gave you the rundown. 4 TV spots up for grabs here for these 12 players. Great shot there by Johnson. She trails by 21 after 6. Another great shot by O'Keefe, applying the pressure now. Striking the 7th, leading by 21. Max score for her, 245. Shannon doubles up in the 7th and 8th. She now is transitioning from coach to player, having helped the McKendree Bearcats to a pair of titles, the NCAA Women's Bowling, as well as the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Double win for McKendree women. She's the women's head coach there. And Johnson doubles up. This match probably will get done first, so we'll keep an eye on this one. And then we'll switch back to Verity Crawley and Shayna Ung here in just a moment. So O'Keefe stepping up with an opportunity to close this one out. Bonus pins now on the line. O'Keefe max score 245. Best Liz Johnson can do 224. And O'Keefe goes high 3610. So that will open the door for Liz.
Hey, sir, very briefly wanted to make sure I put up. I had a question. I saw something that didn't seem right. And I think I said Verity Crawley via the tiebreaker was 7th overall. Is actually Cassandra Leuthold, 7th overall. If you look at the Cashers round, you would misconstrue with that. But Cassandra Leuthold is actually the 7th seed via the tiebreaker. And that tiebreaker is the highest round of all 3 qualifying rounds, including rounds 1 and 2, and the the Cashers round. Excuse me. So to make sure that no one has their groups mixed up or wrong, etc.
Pretty sure I already had it mixed up anyway. Wouldn't be the first time, right?
Generally do. Pin for O'Keefe. Let's take a look at Crawley. O'Keefe makes the spare off camera. Now to Crawley. shot and a double. Oh, Verity still in control. See Shayna going high there. Well, best Shayna can do with a spare, shoot 203. Verity Crawley. Already looking at 210 if she went spare strike. Go back over to Liz Johnson briefly. And fast 8 for Liz. Quite rare. Not really. But she needed a strike there. And Shannon O'Keefe will take game 1 here, take this match. Shayna Ung chopped the spare in the 9th frame. Now Crawley will have a game 1 victory as well. All right, Liz shoots 202. And now Liz was in a group stepladder position already. She had some ground to make up if she were to overtake Clara Guerrero for the top seed in Group B. Get an automatic berth last week, of course, the top overall seed at the Storm Sacramento Open. So Liz into match play back-to-back weeks. Some of the scores were cut off there at the bottom. So again, 211 for Liz, 202. Or 202 for Liz, I beg your pardon. 211 for Shannon O'Keefe. Crawley in a good position to try to earn a spot in the group stepladder final. It would take a lot to, again, reach Kelly Kulick's stature at this moment. Unless Kulick falters here in match play. Winning matches, of course, so important. The bonus pins. Crawley, part of the Weber International family. Such a dynamic and talented player from England. The flag represented on her jersey. All right, game one in the books on our featured pairs, 236 to 181. All right, see what happens there. The final score. It happens beforehand, so that's good news. Good to know. We'll get that all fixed up and squared away. Appreciate everybody joining us. It's always fun. It's been a blast. Another great week. Not complete yet. We've got plenty left to go. You can check the match play schedule online, of course. We'll know who's coming to what pair, and we'll bowl who. Few games coming to an end here on game number, or in game one, as we move to game two. Shannon O'Keefe is about ready. Scoreboard's making us earn it here. Scores now with running totals, plus and minus as well. It's a good addition for match play to keep you on track. Also notice some of the, you may see some reflections at your scoreboard screens. Part of it is, of course, some of the sun that's in the building and the shadows as O'Keefe gets us started. All right, 4-pin for Roumimper. Our other match on 41 and 42 features Clara Guerrero and Shayna. All right, 4-pin to begin for Clara. Cherie Tan making her way down to 48, or excuse me, 49 and 50. And she was awaiting Maria Jose Rodriguez. Roumimper, one more here. Game 2 underway. Matt Canizaro along with Emil Williams Jr.
Hello, sir. Hello, folks. We're winding down. It's crazy. I feel like we just got to town and started taping down internet cables.
We used a lot of tape this week. Tannya just clips the 9-pin. Keith with a quick double off camera while we were watching Shayna Ung, as Ung leaves a 4-pin. Talked about the international talent levels and players, of course, and how frequent and sometimes infrequent they participate. They've got some competitions upcoming within their respective countries. The SEA Games, Southeast Asia Games, for example. Both Singapore, Shayna, Cherie, for example, along with Daphne and Tannya Roumimper from Indonesia will be participating in those games as well later this year. Clara Guerrero, of course, part of Team Colombia. And the Greek Church. Matt, you were on hand for an historical moment for Team Colombia in the summer of 2016. Clara and Rocio Maria won a team gold medal for the first time.
Well, it no doubt proved how far the Colombian bowling program has come, and we've seen these talented players do some crazy things in the United States collegiately and here on the PWBA tour. Great coaching, and they were super sharp, and that was the cool thing about PABCON, was that it was coming just off the PWBA tour season, so everybody was at their absolute best. It made for some pretty exciting moments, and for Clara and company to step up huge in the 10th frame like they did in front of their hometown fans, of course, and essentially steal the gold medal was pretty awesome to be a part of. It was a few miscues by Team USA allowed that to happen, but they still stepped up and they threw the big shots when they needed to, and it was very impressive and very much like what we've seen from them out here on the PWBA tour. And you know, we saw Rocio Restrepo, who's made 2 shows already this year. Now Clara in position here to make a run. So, but to see that all come together, and for the PWBA Tour to be a part of it, was pretty amazing. And we'll see, when we go to other events, the World Cup, the World Championships, the World Games coming up this year, just how vast the talent is now. It really has expanded. We're seeing it this week with 22 international players out of the 83-person field. So it is strong across the globe, and those events really get charged up and emotional now. They're used to being friends and roommates out here on the tour, and then it's all business when they get to those tournaments. So just very cool to be a part of that and be able to see again the transition and the growth of all these players as they go from one area of play to the next.
Well said, my man. Big game, or excuse me, big competition again on the world stage. The world men's and women's worlds this year.
Yes, combined, scheduled for Kuwait. Last time we were in Abu Dhabi in alternating years, 2014 and 2015. But every few years, a combined event. Last time was 2013 in Las Vegas. So really the best of everybody. I mean, that is pretty close to bowling's Olympics. Right up there with the World Games, which happens every 4 years. Just such a spectacle of talent. You pretty much the superstars you see out here on the PWBA Tour and on the PBA Tour doing battle for their countries. It's pretty awesome. And that shot from Shayna, pretty awesome as well. We kind of learned about her for the first time right on the tail end of that 2013 Combined World Championships, where she stuck around for the USBC Queens and ended up making the TV show. That event won by Diana Zabialova. And fresh out of college, or she might have still been in college, to be honest. But first foreign player to win that event since 1989, and then it's been international dominance for the few years since. Again, just proving how caught up the world is.
Everyone is good. And everyone can be beaten on any particular day as well. It's you gotta earn it everywhere you go.
So we've got some official standings now after the first game of match play. 19 games in the books. Bonus pins now on the line here in match play. And as expected, leading their respective groups, Kelly Kulick and Clara Guerrero. And they will hope to lead their groups through the 5 games that are remaining, guaranteeing them spots on the TV show. The winner of each group will advance. They'll be the 1 and 2 seeds, and that'll be based on total pinfall with bonus pins. But right now, Kulick about 60 pins ahead of Maria Jose Rodriguez. Cassandra Leuthold is 3rd in Group A. Daphne Tan 4th, Cherie Tan 5th, and Birgit Poppler is 6th. So really the players enjoy, well, some of them enjoy this match play format to where nobody's really out of it at any point. You got 6 players in each group. 4 of them are going to at least have a chance to make the TV show. So keeps the fans in it, keeps the players really intense all the way through, which is great. And now in the Group B, Clara again leading the way. She's got about 136 pin lead on Verity Crawley, who's been bowling very well the last few games and has made her way up the standings. Liz Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe tied for third, followed by Roumimper and Shayna in sixth. But anything is possible, and only about 90 pins separating second and sixth. So again, the winner of each group will advance to the TV show automatically, and then number 2, 3, and 4 in the standings in each group will advance to today's group stepladder, with the winner of each stepladder also advancing to the TV show, which will be taped May 23rd in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So a lot happening, a lot to follow. And again, we'll have our 6 games of match play, and we'll cut the field down for the group step ladders. They'll happen simultaneously here in our featured pairs, and then we'll know who our TV semifinalists will be. Here in our featured pair, 45 and 6, Tannya and Shannon. And O'Keefe well ahead here, striking 5 of her 7 frames. And with the split there in the 8th, Tannya falling farther behind. O'Keefe started match play with the win over Liz Johnson. So they now are tied. Thanks to those 30 bonus pins, and O'Keefe delivers once again. She still can get to 266. Best Tannya can do 222. So this one pretty close to done now. Get all you can get. Very important. And those bonus pins, exceptionally important. So we'll see if Shayna can close this one out. Then we'll switch back to Shayna and Clara. O'Keefe adds one more. And we'll switch back over. A little more compelling, I think, over here. As O'Keefe well in control to our right. Clara, high flush, can't get the 9 to go. She trails by 23 after 6. Shayna trying to climb her way out from 6th place. Not too far behind. From the chance at the step ladder. Great shot, but the 10 won't go. Ung leads by 24 after 8 frames now. Another pair. Tannya finishes with 188, opening the 10th as well. Shannon O'Keefe can get to 245. Big win here for O'Keefe. She'll pick up some sticks on Guerrero here in game number 2. He finishes with 241 in the victory. So plus 71 for her this game. And Guerrero still in this match. She will finish first. Could put the pressure on Shayna Ung. Great shot there in the 9th. We talked to Clara last night as the qualifying leader. She told us she's been struggling with some tendonitis in her hand. I've been to the doctor a few times, took some medicine, had some rest, a little therapy. Hasn't really felt that good. She messed around with her span a little bit heading out here. Didn't even have a chance to throw the balls before practice. And things seem to have been going well, so she's very aware of what she's doing, even though her release feels significantly different. It really has her thinking about each shot, and it has paid off. Pays off again there for the double. She can get to 204. And then Shayna would need to fill 20 in the 10th to escape with the win. One pair over off camera, Kelly Kulick on 280 pace going into the 10th. Yeah, she has made 10 championship round appearances the last 2 seasons without a victory. Very motivated. Always puts herself in position. That's all she can do. She knows that. And she is looking to pull away and earn the #1 seed for the PWBA Fountain Valley Open here with just a few games to go. She has all the momentum. This is game 2 of 6. Clara unable to double in the 10th. She'll finish with 193. So 9 here, and Shayna gets all 10 for the win. Kulick doubles in the 10th to our left. So one more strike gives her 280 and the win. She can add to her cushion. And she does. Kelly leads Maria Jose Rodriguez by 61 coming into this game. Final shot here from Shayna. She defeats Clara Guerrero. .204, 193. Shannon O'Keefe makes up ground on Clara. Kelly Kulick pulls ahead. Game 2 is done. We'll have game 3 of match play coming up here in just one moment. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Emil Williams Jr. at Fountain Bowl 2017 PWBA Fountain Valley Open. Winding down. We'll be right back.
First bowling ball ever underneath my Christmas tree, probably at the age of 7, was the Kmart Blue Light Special. It was the blue and white swirl with my name on it. I love blue. It matches my eye color. Blue is the color of the ocean. Blue is, I don't know, to me it's just a happy-go-lucky color. My last meal would be a sausage pie from Spiritos. That would be my ultimate, you know, before going to the chamber. That's it, I'm going out with pizza. Ooh, all-time favorite movie? I gotta say Jaws. I mean, you know, come on. And you know, every time I go in the ocean, I still glance left to right to see if I see a dorsal fin pop out of the water or something. But yeah, it's just one of the scariest movies of all time, great lines from it, and can never be recreated. I try to think the last CD I bought is probably one of the Reba McEntire CDs. Her greatest hits. She's not one of her greatest hits, but she's came out with a love album. She's one of my favorites. I can tell you offhand, there's been a lot of Lady Antebellum going on. Coffee, cream only. Yep. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts girl, though. You can proudly say that, air that, if you want me to be the spokesperson, because I run on Dunkin' Donuts and I bowl on Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'm a very funny person. I know that's hard to believe. I'm like, you know, I'm very guarded at first when I'm introduced to somebody new for the first time, but once I get to know them, I'm an open book. One day, any job? Hollywood actors. I would love, not to have my own trailer or the limelight or anything, but just to be able to be behind the camera, to make jokes or to be serious or dramatic, and to see what that's like, the actual technique that goes into it. I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars. I just want to see one of them lift me up over their head. That's why I want to be on Dancing with the Stars. And to trade in my dexters for heels, that's a little sketchy for me. You know, I have to really be on my toes, a lot of core strength. But I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars. Oh, the easy one is ice cream, but I'm a sucker for homemade chocolate chip cookies. That's if you want to, you know, catch me on my weakness and a downfall, just wave a cookie in front of me and I'm at your beck and call. ESPN magazine's got to be one of them, just because I wouldn't take my clothes off for anybody. So they're in the top. Obviously the comic book, being in a Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comic book, that just came out of the whim because I treated somebody with respect and paid close attention to his daughter. Peter David's a wonderful human being. That would be second. Third, Honestly, all the people I've met over the years and can call a friend. You know, being able to travel, and I've stayed in so many people's homes, not as a stranger, but as a welcome guest. And that's got to be it, just being able to mix with all these wonderful people all over.
Cass, play it like that.
All right, folks. Game 3. Continuing, Cassandra Leuthold taking on Kelly Kulick. On 45 and 46, Cherie Tan taking on Daphne Tan. Sister versus sister here on 45 and 46. Take a look at the scoreboard update momentarily as soon as we have it. Shouldn't be too long now. We'll be halfway through. Of course, the position round will be fun, and we'll keep a lot of mental notes. Of course, potentially the top overall seed on the line, the respective leads in both the Group A and Group B series, as well as the group step ladders that will, of course, ultimately commence based on that position round as well. So those are generally what we look for. Position round again. Who will be the #1 overall seed? How close that is. Of course, the two bowlers who will earn spots on TV, the Group A and Group B leaders. And then, of course, anyone who kind of makes a surge towards the end of match play or through match play in general, just knocks it out of the park and makes a run to get into the group step ladder, or, of course, the unforeseeable, making a run to either top 2 seeds. Anything still can happen. Cherie 10 off to a good start over on 45 and 46. We'll take you there after the Kelly Kulick shot here. Will be Daphne Tan, who has bowled very well this week. And just a 2-pin for Kelly. No surprise, as Matt mentioned earlier, the amount of championship round appearances and or TV appearances total for Kelly, the number equals 10 since 2015, the year of the relaunch, and of course last season the return of national television to the PWBA Tour. And Kelly Kulick just yet to get a win. Put herself in plenty of positions, certainly. And I said that I thought this would be the year for her, certainly. Not only will she earn a title, but multiple. Say in baseball, for example, when a hitter is in a slump or struggling, or softball for that matter, any other sport where slumps can occur, that person is due. Let's say Kelly Kulick is certainly due. He's due for a win. Let's take a look at Daphne Tan. Now on to Cherie. And started with 3 in a row here. All right, make it 4 for the left-hander. Cherie, of course, the PWBA champion as well. Won last year's Storm Sacramento Open. Runner-up at the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. Again, bowling minimal events last season with her squad. And same thing this season for Singapore. The final event will be the Queens. Barring any potential wins, of course. Should players win, they earn spots in, of course, the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship if you win. The rest of the field of 16, is made up through players with enough competition points throughout the season. Big thanks to everyone watching and tuning in. Big thanks to all of our sponsors: Smithfield, GoBowling.com, Nationwide, Cubica AMF, and Pepsi. All of their sponsorship and their support of the PWBA Tour. Also to all of our registered products. All right, one more look here at Daphne Tan, sister of Cherie. Good looking shot there. Now back over to Kelly Kulick. Well, something is smelling real good over at the Fountain Food Court there. I apologize if that just, yeah, sometimes food, a good smell just really just hits you kind of right in the face, and that, whatever that is smelling wonderfully. If you're in the area and you haven't stopped by yet, certainly feel free to do so. We encourage you to do that. Match play about halfway done, but we will have our group step ladder finals. It will take place at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Still a lot to be determined before that. Pro-Am is also tonight as well. So if you, again, are in the area and would like to have an opportunity to bowl with the pros, tonight's Pro-Am, come on out. All right, Cassandra Leuthold. See what Leuthold can bring here in the fifth frame, coming off and open. Cassandra's bowled pretty well this week, making a match play appearance. Was near the top of the standings during qualifying for most of it. As I see, looks like Clara Guerrero, pretty good match there with Verity Crawley, a few pairs away. Looks like Sandra was doing a little work to her bowling ball, so we'll on over to Cherie Tan. Oh, now she's ready. All right, back to Leuthold here. Good shot. Leuthold looking for a double in this tie match here. Two really good shots, and took some extra time to make sure everything was well from a bowling ball perspective before she threw the shot in frame number 5. And that is a big double for Cassandra. Updated scores after 20 games and after 2 games, of course, of match play. Your Group A leader continues to be Kelly Kulick at plus 451, 1-1 in match play. Here is Kel's high flush. Daphne Tan in second at plus 283. Maria Jose Rodriguez in third at plus 256. And Leuthold is plus 255. So that's a really bunched 2, 3, 4. Fifth is Cherie Tan, just 14 pins out of a group step ladder spot. Birgit Poppler is 85 pins out. So really close there in Group A and Group B. Clara Guerrero leading the way at plus 370. Shannon O'Keefe 65 pins back of Guerrero. Kind of reminds me a little bit, although they were in separate groups then at last year's Pepsi Lincoln Open. And those two bowled very well and kind of snatched up the top 2 spots early on. All right, let's take a look at Daphne Tan. Ball's got a push. All right, again, Guerrero on top the Group B standings at plus 370. She hasn't won a match yet. And so O'Keefe, of course, 2-0. And when you add up 30 bonus spins apiece each time, that starts to add up. Verity Crawley in third at plus 260. She's won a couple of matches to start. Liz Johnson in at fourth at plus 213. She is 0-2. Shayna 33 pins back of Liz. Tannya Roumimper 37 pins back of Liz. So we've got 2 really close groups, and we haven't had that in the first couple weeks, Matt. And I'm talking about 1 through 6. And really from a group stepladder perspective to 2 through 6. Everyone really is still in the hunt, and kind of like you mentioned at the end of, nearing the end of the cashers round, where there were still 6 players outside the number who all had an opportunity.
Well, in hearing Shannon O'Keefe describe the format to some fans yesterday, again, it's very fan-friendly, and the players, obviously except the ones in position for the show at any time, are fans of this format, because you're always in it. Once you get to the top 12, you have a 4 and 6 chance of being able to bowl for the show, and so they like that you bowl a lot of games and you're still in the hunt, and we're definitely seeing that here. It could make for an exciting, dramatic finish, and that's what the people want. Good scores and excitement, and these players are glad to give it to them.
All right, Cherie Tan up in the 9th.
Cherie Tan, the lone left-hander in the top 32, controls the pocket very well and is a terrific spare shooter. And on these tougher conditions, that's all it really takes. The cut was minus, so if you throw the ball around the pocket, get 8 or 9, make your spares, throw a couple strings of strikes, and you're going to be in the hunt every week.
Four pin there for Leuthold. In the 8th frame, holds a very slim lead over Kelly Kulick. Coming down to the final frames for 45 and 46. Cherie 10 will defeat her sister Daphne. Final scores to be determined, of course. Looks like game 3 for most has completed. Here's Kulick. Shot.
To our left, Guerrero loses to Verity Crawley. So another opportunity here as Kelly and Clara are battling potentially for the #1 seed. However, O'Keefe and Crawley are creeping up on Clara. So Kelly just keeps doing what she's doing. Puts her in a great position, and here a chance to really put the pressure on Cassandra Leuthold. So back-to-back shots on the left lane. Kelly not impressed. Good news is she gets the finish on the right lane, where she has struck on her last 2 opportunities. Bad news though, Leuthold can step up and shut her out here in match number 3. And open frame for Kulick. Bad news, best you can get to is 183, so Cassandra Leuthold doesn't have to do much here. Or 6 for Cassandra. Now we have ourselves a match. Cassandra trying to hold on to a spot in that step ladder. To our right, Cherie is going to be in the 230s and pick up 30 bonus pins. So she'll make a jump of Leuthold for sure. Double here for Cassandra. Very important, these bonus pins. Much needed. Cannot get the 7 to go. So she'll give Kulick a chance to step up and win this one.
Very interesting match, but coming down to the wire, and of course, good spare. Keep an eye on this pair. Looks like Verity Crawley shot 220 something to Clara Guerrero's 215. So, if I'm not mistaken, Clara now 0-3 in match play. And Shannon O'Keefe kind of continue to have life there from an automatic berth on TV standpoint.
So with that fill ball, despite the split, Leuthold gets just enough to force Kulick to double.
Oh.
4-pin goes. Kelly's always talking, always thinking. Big shot there. Cassandra can only look on knowing that was a lot of pins given away there in the 9th and 10th. Gotta minimize those moments if we're gonna get to the next level, TV level. Kelly's gonna step off. Got her routine. Looks like he got messed up a little bit there pre-shot, but there she goes. Needs this one for the win.
She's been high flush on this right lane often this game. How about that?
So that one looked left off her hand again, but 4-pin. Her best friend right here in the 10th frame. Now, of course, either this one will be dead flush or 5 through the face, but seems to be the way it goes on the fill ball, but that would be enough. Alright, Kelly doubles in the 10th to defeat Cassandra Leuthold, 182 to 175. That was a bit of a seesaw. Take my Dramamine, get ready for the next match coming up. Game number 4. We're almost there. We're past the halfway point now of our match play portion here at the PWBA Fountain Valley Open. Matt Cannizzaro, Emil Williams Jr. I have not called you Aaron Smith one time this whole weekend again. The streak continues. It's going to happen now. Players on the move. Game 4 coming up from Fountain Bowl in just one moment.
Verity Crawley up, ready to bowl. Verity's got a really good chance at a group step ladder spot.
Verity must have heard you. She sailed one back to England there on her first shot. This is the head pin right. Good place for it though. Spare no problem. It's like a 9 spare.
game 4?
This is game 4. Or game 21.
You sure?
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's game 5. No, you're making me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. We've got standings through.
I mean, it's just a simple question.
No. You're questioning the delirium that might be setting in.
Well, the look didn't help.
Well, because I see online we had game 20. On the board we had game 21. So I was second guessing my counting abilities, but this is game 4. Final answer.
Well, that means we now have a score update.
Indeed we do.
How about that? My man. Well, Group A, that 182 win that we just saw from Kelly Kulick, and that takes her to plus 463. A sizable lead over Cherie Tan, who has moved into second in Group A at plus 294. She is 3-0 in match play and the only undefeated player in Group A. Maria Jose Rodriguez is third at plus 288. Daphne Tan is fourth at plus 259. Cassandra Leuthold now 29 pins behind Daphne Tan. And fifth in Birgit Poppler. Struggling a little bit here in match play. She is now 119 pins back of fourth in Group A. She is in sixth. In Group B, Clara Guerrero again shot 215 but took the L. She is 0-3 in match play. Verity Crawley now moves into second in Group B at plus 314. Keep an eye, of course, as she is on our featured pair on Verity Crawley and on Shannon O'Keefe. O'Keefe is in third at plus 267. Tannya Roumimper in fourth in Group B at plus 227. And tied for fifth currently, just 36 pins back of Tannya, Shayna and Liz Johnson. Liz is 0-3 as well in Group B. Still close. Super close, in fact. Kelly again inching closer to a top overall seed situation. Of course, much to be determined who are in the automatic spot in Group B. It looked like, of course, for a very long time, Clara would have that locked up. And hasn't bowled bad. His first 3 games, 13 over for match play, but hasn't won a match. Crawley is 49 over and has won all of her matches. All right, let's take a look at Maria Jose Rodriguez taking on Kelly Kulick over on 45 and 46. Kelly started with the front three, 9 spare in the 4th frame. Good shot. That was just pured right there from Kelly. Of course, when Kelly is not bowling on a show, you still see her generally as analyst for CBS Sports Network, along with Dave Ryan, our play-by-play PWBA coverage. But the way it's looking, she will definitely have that show off. Two quality shots from one of the greats. Now over to Crawley. Verity is on the climb. Oh. She will trip to 4. And she has 4 in a row. Well, position round is going to be interesting. I know we have a game to go prior to that, but it's already set up for a lot of looking and seeing during the game, who's where, which player is where, out of addition and or subtraction. A lot of calculating going on in position round, so stay tuned certainly for that. Over to Kulick. See where she is standing. Look like just right of 4th arrow, and just like the last couple she's thrown. Kulick already with 280. Getting game 2.
Kelly's got to keep striking to keep the pressure on. Cherie Tan charging here in match play. She's got the front 4 of this game to her left. Only left-hander in the top 32, so obviously the only lefty in match play. Once she gets locked in, we've seen it happen. Kelly's still striking, Cherie's still striking.
Split there from Rodriguez. Maria, another good week. Still in position right now. Earn a spot in the group step ladder in Group A. She has already made one TV appearance overall, or excuse me, has qualified for a TV finals. the Cubica AMF Sonoma County Open. Made one television appearance last season at the Wichita Open, finished second to Danielle McEwen. Starting to really be consistent week in and week out, continuing to make match play appearances. See Kelly, K squared on the jersey. Over to Crawley. Verity with 4 in a row of her own. Kelly and working on 279. Shot off camera for Kelly. You may have even heard it. 10 back. So was that one from Crawley.
Sir, a lot of people have mentioned just the absolute potential of Verity Crawley. We haven't seen too much of her over the couple of years, and perhaps we'll have an opportunity to find out why, find out what her career path has been, and what her bowling intentions are. She works her way towards what I believe would be her first TV show, at least as a PWBA TV show. Certainly no stranger to the TV lights.
Like 268 for Kelly Kulick.
So I feel like it's getting close to talking storylines a little bit for the work that comes after the work. Kulick on cruise control here with 2 games to go. However, you never want to say those words too loudly, as we've seen crazier things happen.
Indeed.
Kulick has been involved in some of those things as well.
All right, 192 for Rodriguez. And Roumimper. That's a 116 in the 6th, 136 in the 7th. If anyone may be having a little trouble just reading that monitor, it's just a shade darker than its partner in crime there on 41. Cherie Tan looks like has slowed down a little bit in the back half of this game. Several 8 counts on the board. How about Verity Crawley? Verity with some fans and some support. Cassandra Leuthold on a 3-bagger versus Cherie 10. Game 5 coming up, but this could be a game-changing score here if Crawley can keep this up into the 10th frame. 9th frame shot. Oh, it might be your day. The Weber former teammates. Katie Thornton is here supporting. She did not bowl. Daria Payuk and Diana Zavialova here as well. So the talk of Verity Crawley earlier was going to get a spot into the group stepladder final. Now it could be taking over the Group B lead and earning an automatic spot onto TV, bypassing a group stepladder.
Well, if the scoreboard to our right is correct, it notes Clara at plus 399. If Crawley can finish this out, she will exceed plus 399. So definitely setting up some potential position round excitement on the Group B side. Group A, Kulick in control.
All right, nice shot there from Tannya. Tannya snuck into match play. She was 12th. Hello to Debbie Vandenberg, if she is still watching, because she said she was here in person. Thanks, Debbie. And Eric, our plan certainly is to always at least have a player on during the group stepladder finals, as long as no one declines, which they never really do. Everyone always excited to talk a little bit about bowling. This Game 5 matchup could between Liz Johnson and Clara Guerrero could be the keys in this one. Looks like everyone almost into Game 5. So keep it locked here. Right, 7-pin. Give her the spare and the strike. That'll be, of course, 269. At 30 on, be 299, and she'll gain, of course, just under 100 pins. All right. Takes care of business. You always hear the very sometimes quiet oh from the crowd. Great crowd here all weekend. It will only get better. Of course, the group step ladder finals and then the Pro-Am tonight as well here at Fountain Bowl. All right. Very nice game for Verity Crawley. 267. And now on to the player that she has at this point in front of, and that is Clara Guerrero. Liz Johnson and Clara Guerrero upcoming on 41 and 42. Cherie and Birgit Poppler. Tan got a victory over Leuthold. Looks like 230, I want to say 3. Can't see the last digit to 180. Ish for Leuthold. So as Matt mentioned, Cherie trying to make a little charge here, but I think it will be Kelly Kulick's day, but we do have a couple games left. We cannot go too far ahead. Sports and bowling and, of course, the old saying, don't count the chickens before they hatch, etc. .36 there for Clara. And our final game 5 is complete. And now we will move on, or excuse me, we should have a score update momentarily. Shouldn't take too long. And coming up for the rest of the day, folks, again, position round coming up next after game 5 and match play. We will determine, or by that time, top 2 seeds will be determined for TV finals for this event. Also announce the group stepladder finals participants. And at 5 o'clock p.m. local time, 5 p.m. Pacific. The group stepladder then will commence. Pro-Am tonight, 7. Then on to the first major of the season. All right, Cherie and Poppler now off and running on 41 and 42. Been a bit of a struggle here for Liz in match play. She's 0 for 3. First 3 games. Game 4, make it 0 for 4 for Liz. Just can't get anything going. Our game 22 update. Kulick on the lead over Cherie that pretty sizable at this point. She is plus 561. Again, the leader in Group A. Leading by 204 pins over Cherie, who is second at plus 357. Tan is 4-0, continuing the winning streak. Kulick has won her last 3 matches, including that Game 4 268. Daphne Tan in third at plus 296. Maria Jose Rodriguez is in fourth at plus 280. Cassandra Leuthold still with a chance here, plus 217. She is 63 pins back of Maria Jose. And Birgit Poppler yet to win a match as well. She has 167 pins back. Verity Crawley, your new leader in Group B at plus 411. She is 4-0 in the big 267 game. Clara Guerrero continuing to bowl moderately well. Yet to win a match though. She is 0-4. Shannon O'Keefe third at plus 320. Tannya Roumimper plus 230 in fourth. Shayna Ongus in fifth, 6 pins behind Tannya. Liz Johnson, despite not bowling well, can still have a chance to sneak into the group step ladder. She is just 51 pins back of fourth. At plus 179. Pardon the noise. We'll keep it here on 45 and 46. As this one with just 3 frames remaining, or at least Clara has 3 frames remaining. Liz will about to step on the 7th. Will complete the 8th. 45, or excuse me, 41 and 42. Just entering the 3rd frame. Just like that, Liz Johnson with a 4-bagger. And mentioning 51 pins outside of the last spot in Group B for group stepladder positioning.
Well, sir, here comes Liz Johnson. Never count her out. We talked about it already this week. She wasn't feeling well coming into the week. Didn't sound very good either. Just plugging along, and came on strong this morning. Made a huge move, and here she comes again. 5-bagger. Trying to close the gap. So you just give her a chance. That's all you can ask for. She has climbed a step ladder or two in her day. And to our left, Shayna and Tannya not shooting the lights out. Through 4 frames, 5 frames for one. No doubles. Giving Liz the potential for moving up a couple spots here. Catching O'Keefe in third might be challenging, but certainly getting past Shayna and Tannya, very possible. We've seen many times players lead all through qualifying, lead into the cashers round, and then the last few games just kind of fall off pace a little bit. What do you think, Mr. Williams? Is it, I don't want to say it's complacency at that point or getting comfortable, but what do you think happens for those? And we talked about Diana. I know a lot of times she's been number 1 even going to the position round. And, seconds away from locking up a spot on TV, and all of a sudden she's in a step ladder and comes up short.
Yeah, I think it's hard to pinpoint. It's definitely on a case-by-case situation, but I think the majority of the times we've seen this, it's been someone like Verity in that position who was low in regards to the standings of match play, and then has bowled phenomenal here in these first few games. And in Clara's case, for example, she hasn't bowled bad. I think 1 game under 200 so far. She hasn't had any monstrous games, of course. 205, 193, 215, 214, but she hasn't won a match.
Well, I think Rob said that 2 or 3 of those games were by less than 10 pins as well. So, one pin falls your way, and that's a 40-pin swing in the standings. So, it definitely makes sense. And then, for the rest of the week, 214, 215, that's a great score. You do that 10 times yesterday, and you're up there in the top 10 or 15. So, now you just get to a point where you get the best players, and the big scores are going to come, and that's the difference. Clara's doing exactly what she's done all week, and you're absolutely right.
It's one of those situations where you got to give Verity obviously a lot of credit for bowling well, winning matches. And, a break or two, as you said, for Clara. It still could be Clara leading, and it still could be after this position round here. Right now, it's about Liz Johnson.
Liz about to pick up 100 pins here. Make a huge jump. And with 1 game to go, I'd say a little bit of excitement, but to our left, Shayna and Tannya. It's going to be a very low-scoring match for them. So Liz more than likely going to jump up into the 4th position, heading into the position round. Liz doing Liz Johnson things. 266 and the victory, plus 96 for the game. So nearly 100. She's at plus 275 now. So depending how things look for O'Keefe here in game 5, position round between Liz and Shannon. Could be pretty neat to watch as well. Alright, Emil, so down to our left, Shayna Ung throws 3 strikes. And if she can finish off in the 10th with 3 more, she'll stay just ahead of Liz going into the position round. But she will need at least a double.
Sure to let folks know where you're watching. All of our viewers. Position round is coming up soon. Certainly don't want to miss this. There'll be a lot of movement. There'll be some excitement. We'll also find out who will earn spots into the group stepladder finals to determine our other 2 finalists. Poppler on 3 in a row. If you get saw her do this on 43 and 44 during the cashers round. A very good look. Her match play record so far, 0-4. High game of 214, and it was game 1. Followed that with 184, 170, 173. A lot would have to go her way this game and next, and then get a lot of help, but the old outside chance potentially at hopping into the group step ladder. More Verity strikes.
Looks like it. Looks like at least 3 heading into the 10th. She's taking on Shannon O'Keefe this game. But on paper, looks like it's going to be Crawley and Guerrero.
Shayna Ung, 227 and a victory. And she just overtook Tannya Roumimper for the 4th spot in Group B. On paper, but if you include
good try, good save.
The Liz Johnson 266 game that I just saw and forgot about already.
The good news is we are not the official scorekeepers at this event. The players are going to turn in their score sheets here, and the right people will calculate everything and get us updated very quickly. But you're right. It appears that Liz Johnson has snuck ahead of Tannya and Shayna into the 4th spot. And it should be O'Keefe and Liz Johnson. And Shannon might have enough of a cushion to stay in the 3rd spot, but don't put it ahead of Liz Johnson to throw 10 or 11 in a row and make it interesting, but potentially those two would face off then in the 1st round of the step ladder. So we'll have the official correct scores in just one moment as our matches get wrapped up here. Looks like O'Keefe throwing the final shots down on the far end, and Birgit and Cherie in the 10th frame right now. Way down yonder, Maria Jose Rodriguez trying to hold on to a spot in the top 4 as well.
Small delay here, of course, for 41 and 42. See the pin in the gutter and on the lane. Is there a name for that? So is that called something? It's just not dead wood at this point. It's on the lane.
Pretty sure it's still
Is
just
it
dead
just
wood.
dead wood? I don't know if it should be.
Dead wood on the lane, dead wood in the back. It's dead. It's donezo. So 10th frame coming up for Cherie Tan. Again, the lone left-hander competing today at the PWBA Fountain Valley Open. We are one game away from knowing our stepladder finalist and our top 2 seeds for TV. TV show again will be taped on May 23rd as part of the USBC Queens in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Got word yesterday, if you're in the neighborhood, all TV shows are free. First come, first served seating. TV shows all throughout the day on May 23rd. Queen's show will be taped for broadcast later that night, and then the first 3 PWBA events of the season will roll out in June. This particular event will be on June 20th. Happy birthday to Emil that day.
Thank you.
As bowling will be on for Emil's birthday present.
Good gift.
Alright, so here's Cherie Tan. After 22 games, she was second in Group A behind Kelly Kulick. The uncatchable Kelly Kulick at this point. So Cherie will lose a few pins there in the loss to Poppler. A little bit of a cushion. So Kelly down there talking strategy for her final game coming up. She tries to solidify that #1 spot for TV, putting herself in position to win. It's all she can do. 10 TV shows the last 2 seasons, no victories, and something that I'm sure she's thinking about, something we're going to talk about coming up later today. So we'll let the players turn in their papers, get the scores tabulated, and we'll be right back with the position round in just a few moments. PWBA Fountain Valley Open back at Fountain Bowl for the first time since 1992. And we've had a great couple days here, great staff, great venue. Emil can say great things about the ATM. Good food, good drinks. They took very good care of us. In fact, there's a barbecue happening out back right now. Maybe we'll swing through as we wait for the final game to get underway. Again, thanks for joining us here. This is Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. We'll be right back.
We'll be back out to see who will make our TV step and our group step ladder final of the PWBA.
on the spare. She knew how important that was. Now she wants to get as many pins as she can, because not only will Karen, if she strikes, she'll shoot 207. And not only will Carol Norman need the first 2 shots in the 10th, but she would need at least 8 pins to win the tournament. So still, Lori Nichols needs a strike here. Oh, bad shot. And that virtually gives Carol just a little more breathing room. Carol Norman, these could be the 2 biggest shots of her career. She needs a double right here to win her first title. Big shot. She needs this one right here.
You got to get the first one before you can get the second.
Looks good.
There's the first.
She knew that one was there.
Wow, look at her. Man, Lori Nichols doesn't even want to look at it.
Oh yeah, Lori will watch at this point. There's nothing she can do.
What you say? Yeah, she got it. That's 7 pin.
And she almost left the solid 7 on not just one, but both of those shots. Carol Norman now has to stay behind the foul line and get 6 pins to win this tournament. But what great shots in
Watch her.
Key position. She didn't even see it. She
never
was
saw
turned
the-
around facing this way.
She never saw the 7 pin go down. She was doing a 40-yard sprint.
She knew how well she'd thrown it, and if she hadn't carried that one, it wasn't going to be, because she didn't put it in the pocket. Needing 6 pins, excuse me, 5 pins right here. And it's over. That was
Got it.
funny.
Finishes with style, striking out in the 10th frame, and the first ever tournament victory for Carol Norman here in the Greater Little Rock Classic.
pairs 2, 3, and 4 will head into the group step ladder at 5 p.m. All right, bowling fans, pick out your favorite player this last game, cheer her on, let her know that you're behind her. How about a great round of applause for a send-off into position round at the PWBA Fountain Valley Open.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the position round on 45 and 46. We'll have Kelly Kulick and Cherie Tan. Oh, that's not right. We'll have Kelly Kulick and Daphne Tan, as the Game 5 update isn't online as of yet. And then Verity Crawley taking on Clara Guerrero. But got a special guest in the booth. Pleased to be joined by Jazriel Tan.
Hello, everybody.
Jazzy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I would rather be bowling, but
Well, absolutely.
it's nice to watch too.
I would love to be watching you bowl as well in this situation. But you get a chance to tell our viewers, while we watch this position round, but give your thoughts and insights on what you saw this week in regards to the pattern. A little bit different from the first 2 weeks. I know you guys weren't in Sonoma County, but you were in Sacramento last week.
The Singapore team, we were not in Sonoma. Our first stop was actually in Sacramento. I struggled there a lot because I saw the shape entirely wrong. I never saw dry. Last week when everybody was just saying that the lanes are so dry, I was hooking really early and all that. But this week it's really different. I heard that the center plays, it hooks. That's what I heard from a lot of people here. The left side probably hooks more than the right, but there are lesser lefties, and I think Cherie's enjoying now. Just because in qualifying she struggled a little bit. She was crossing with some of the lefties too, so she could not get her ball to go down the lane. But right now she's enjoying because it's almost fresh for her every lane. And I think it looks even more difficult in this match play than it did the Cashes round and yesterday. I don't really know why, but it just looks like it's a little more sensitive down the lane. Yeah. Hitting the pocket's not entirely as difficult as last week or probably the first week, but getting the carry is a difficult thing. Yeah.
This pattern certainly from a playable perspective. And you guys missed week 1, and probably was a good thing you did. It was rough.
Yeah,
it was
I heard.
a little difficult.
Yeah.
And quite demanding. Sacramento again along that route as well. But you guys will be here through the Queens.
Yes.
So we look forward to that as well. And then in regards to our matches here, you get a chance obviously to watch a teammate.
Yes.
In this situation, almost got a group step ladder spot. I won't say locked up, but. It's pretty close, barring any phenomenal bowling.
Shayna's in 4th right now, but Liz is just a couple pins behind only. But Cherie and Daphne look pretty good right now.
So you're watching Verity Crawley
and Daphne's laughing over there.
She probably doesn't know what to think right now or what you could be saying.
Oh, she says she doesn't know if she should change balls because the last few games she's been struggling a little bit. She struggles a little more in the breakdown this pattern this week. Yeah, because she likes to play it a little straighter. And when she she could actually just bow down and stay at the same area for a long time, but when she has to move off from that area, her problem is she always overthinks whether she should change balls and whatnot. And going left hasn't been her forte, but she's been getting good at it. Like last week, she did pretty decent playing left. Yeah. So that's good, you know.
Is that something that you guys often work on when you're at home and during training?
Yeah, we don't really bowl games that much. We just, you know, turn the lanes on, and we are very lucky that, you know, we have our own oiling machine. We could put on whatever pattern we want to practice on. And like Daphne, she likes to play straight down. She's really good at that. So at practice, she usually tries to, you know, even if the lane pattern doesn't allow her to go left, she'll just try to make something work out on the left. Just like Shayna, she likes to swing it. Swinging it is her A game. But she's been working on a straighter shot, and she's actually getting very good at it too. And yeah, like we have a lot of we actually have video analysis at home too. So all these, you know, we are actually being supported by the Singapore Sports Institute. So they provide the cameras, they provide like biomechanics and stuff. So all these really help us a lot.
In the booth with Jazreel Tan from Team Singapore. Jazreel has won on the PWBA Tour. She won the Lubbock Sports Open in 2015. Also may know her from her collegiate days at Wichita State. Shot there from Verity Crawley.
Verity's killing it today.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yes. Good shot there from Daphne Tan. Tan, of course, taking on again Kelly Kulick. Your Group A standings, again, after 23 games, this is position round. Kelly Kulick plus 564, Daphne Tan plus 347, Cherie Tan plus 338. Maria Jose Rodriguez is plus 287. Cassandra Leuthold is 28 pins back of fourth for the final group step ladder spot at plus 259, and Birgit Poppler is in sixth in Group A at plus 168. And Group B, of course, the battle between Crawley and Guerrero. And Verity now plus 449. Crawley plus 449. Clara is plus 378. Shannon O'Keefe is in third at plus 323. In fourth, Shayna at plus 281. And fifth is Liz Johnson, who we thought might have snuck into the group step ladder. She is plus 275, just 6 pins behind Shayna And Tannya Roumimper is in sixth, 86 behind fourth. So still a lot to be determined. At this point, the one thing we do know is Kelly Kulick will be on the show.
Yep.
And more than likely
Verity
will be the top overall seed. Verity Crawley at the moment has the clear lane to joining Kelly with the automatic bids. So Kulick with the strike in the fourth. For Kelly, it's simply about repetition at this point, but wants to make sure she secures her spot. You know, of course, in bowling, nothing is guaranteed, so you always want to continue to power through just like you would on if there was something on the line. Jazreel, what do you think, you know, for you and then for Team Singapore, what have been some of the major keys, and then as you look forward to the Queens, of course, what do you guys consistently kind of work on throughout the week when you're here out on tour?
Like what are the important things we work
like
on?
when you during the week, what are you guys working on, and then is it different kind of before a major or something like the Queens, which starts next week, for example?
Yeah, like basically because we don't know the patterns.
Sure.
So since every tour stop going into every tour stop, we have a couple days to practice, and we usually do like not as intensive as we do back home. We do like 2 to 3 hours a day, and then we go to the gym and all that. We still go to the gym here, but on the lanes, we just try to bowl a couple games, and then we just shoot spares for a little while, and we call it a day. It's just to, you know, get ourselves loose and get used to the lanes and approach and all that.
Some type of
Yeah.
normal routine.
Yeah. And like, you know, just not anything too intensive, because you know you want to keep your mind a little free and like just not think about what the weekend is gonna bring, you know, because you know it's pretty intense when the weekend comes, because it goes by so fast. It's 12 games, and you make it. You don't, you're done after a day. So you just want to stay as relaxed and clear your mind as much as you can during the week. But of course, you know, spares are important on tour. You know, when pattern's tough, you want to have good sparing,
Sure.
you know, percentage. And it gets to your mind too. You know, when the lanes are tough, you get so many corner pins, or you get a lot of weird makeables left or splits. You know, you tend to get frustrated, and you miss your spares. But I guess we do work on it back home too, you know, trying to keep a clear mind and how we go about doing that, you know, the different keywords you have to use on yourself, how you work with your teammates. Like, all these are individual bowling, but, you know, I'm very glad that I have my team here. I have my coach here. We are able to share information, and that's something that, you know, helps us as we go along. Yeah.
Crawley looking for a spare there. Almost made it, and she did off the back screen. How about that? The 3-pin came off the back, hit the 7. Very nice spare there. To Daphne Tan, she makes a spare of her own. Daphne clean through 5. In our other important matches, let's see, Liz Johnson, and then Tannya Roumimper, Shannon O'Keefe, and Shayna Ung. That one pretty close as well. Cherie Tan and Maria Jose Rodriguez. See an open for Cherie in the 5th. So Clara's going to go first.
She's actually averaging pretty good this match play. She has lost all her games, and it's a lot of bonus pins too, so it's a pity.
She's had some tough breaks.
Yeah, definitely.
Lost some matches, I think, by, you know, less than 10 pins. So when that happens, and then of course someone like Verity, who is bowling great and hasn't lost a match, bonus pins kind of come into play. We have a situation where, you know, Clara, who led after qualifying yesterday and most of the day today.
I think Liz is on a turkey. She might be able to catch Shayna. But then again, it all depends on the bonus pins, because they're only 6 pins apart.
Yeah, it's tough. It's which would mean that at least Shayna would have to win.
Shannon.
Her match, let's see, 40-70. She can shoot 237 at the moment. Shannon O'Keefe can shoot 231. That match certainly undetermined at this time. Cannot see what Tannya is doing. Here is Clara. Nice shot there. What has been one of the coolest things for you and then for the team to be able to experience the PWBA tour? I know certainly it's a long trip from home, but you know, you make it very competitive, of course, and had a lot of success. What's been one of the cooler parts for the experience for you guys?
Personally, I like meeting friends. You know, being here allows me to meet a lot of my friends from college days, you know, and I went back to Wichita my first year, and that was awesome. But besides all that, you know, people might say, you know, not the entire world is here, like the Koreans are not here, and not everybody's here to bowl, so you can't really say you're bowling against the world's best. But, you know, there's so many top players, and the lanes are tough, and when the lanes are tough, you know, it takes so much more from you to try to stay on top of your game, I feel. And I don't know, it's just like back in college bowling, a lot of people back home told me that, you know, they're not as good as it might be. But when the lanes are so tough, you know, even good bowlers might not do well. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, you experience so many different kinds of lane patterns and how the lane breaks down. And I never ever thought that as a girl I would be bowling in front of the ball return. Never ever have I thought. But I experienced that in college bowling. It was so crazy. But it was fun, you learn something new every day, and
Sure.
you don't bowl that every day, but it's something good to have. Yeah, we don't ever step in front of the ball return, almost never in international tournaments, but it's just something good to have. And from my college days I gained that experience, and it has helped me on tour, and I think that is very valuable lessons learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like for Hui Fen, like she has proved that her first year she bowled, she missed I think she missed all the cuts, like just missed. And a year later, rookie of the year, like it's the thing that you like you learn what you don't do well on, and you gain experiences, and you go back home and you work on it, and you come back stronger and try to prove not to anybody but to yourself that hey, I work hard off season, and I can come back and prove it to myself that I'm able to do all these things. So I think it's just you improve yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team Singapore has opened a lot of eyes, especially last season. I think many were familiar with you, from at Wichita State
Yeah.
and your early success on tour, and then not many people knew about Wei,
Yes.
Daphne, Cherie, Shayna.
Yeah.
Some people knew more about Shayna as well. She bowled well at a couple of majors at the Queens,
Yes.
for example, a couple of years ago. But hey, you guys are great. And everyone, from a fan perspective too, it's very cool to watch the fans be able to interact
Yes.
with players that they wouldn't normally see.
It's just nice. I mean, like having fans that come up to you and say, hey, you bowl so well, congratulations, or you're my idol and all that. We do not take it. I mean, we feel good just because at least like people appreciate the hard work that we put in and all that. But it's because of these people that we actually have a tour to bowl on to. They support us and all that.
Shot there from Clara. All right, Shayna. Looks like
She
seven
got it.
spare. Big spare there. She will win this match. So she can strike for 214. So Shannon O'Keefe, best she can do is shoot 197. Cannot see what Tannya and Liz are doing down on their match. Okay, Shayna Ong shoots 213. Add the 30 bonus pins. That is 243. Crawley now with 3 in a row. Quick look over to Kelly Kulick. Liz Johnson can strike out for 247. Tannya Roumimper shot 213.
And Shayna's at 213. She won her bonus pin, so she's at 243.
I think Liz might have a 9 count there. First shot in the 10th. And if that's the case, we'll put her at potentially 237.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to win the match now. And if that is the case, it looks like Liz Johnson may have moved ahead of Shayna Ong. Shannon O'Keefe shot 187. She gives a few pins back. It may be close. We'll have to do the official math. Of course, all of our numbers, folks, are unofficial. misspoke. I think Liz may have shot 220. That's probably 220. Oh, one of the issues everyone can't see.
Yeah.
Daphne Tan with 3 in a row. Here is Clara, and joined in the booth by Jazreel Tan. I appreciate her joining us. And now, if we can, her and the Queens, I'm gonna make sure she joins us again.
I wouldn't mind. We actually have 4 more girls coming up.
I heard, of course, the defending champs got to come back.
Yes, definitely. Queen Bee. Liz shot 226.
Okay, so Liz with 226. She won the match. So that's 256 for Liz. And so Liz is at 331 plus 331 unofficially. Shayna shot 243, but that's including her bonus. And Clara strikes the first shot in the 10. But it's all Verity Crawley here. Daphne Tan shot 201. We'll give you the last look here at Kelly Kulick. Kelly with another strike. Talk about someone bowling well between her and Verity Crawley. They really made some moves. Liz Johnson did as well to put herself in position. And speaking of Liz Johnson, or excuse me, Shayna Ung. 81 plus 43. Shayna unofficially right now at plus 324.
Yeah, I bowled with Liz all day. I bowled with her this morning. She looked like she bowled a completely different area from she did the 12 games, and she just made a huge move. She was playing a lot straighter down. She was playing with speed, but just with a little bit of reaction at the back. She carried a lot today. She went 222 over to climb all the way up.
That can happen in match play. Sometimes if you get hot, win a few matches, of course, we talk about bonus pins.
Exactly.
It could be the best thing in the world, and then it could be the opposite, of course, when you shoot.
And Liz actually lost a lot of games.
She did.
She lost like 4 games.
She lost the first 4 matches.
Yeah.
And somehow, at this point, looks like she can sneak into the Group B step ladder. So unofficially, Shannon O'Keefe will finish at plus 310, if my math is correct, which would mean that Shayna Ung, and this is all unofficial, will take that final spot in the group step ladder. And now a 4-6-7 for Verity Crawley here. Guerrero in the books at 188. Verity had a 71 pin advantage over Clara here in the Group B position round. Trying to earn that automatic spot. She will take the 2. And we've got a tie.
Oh.
So 188 tie. Each will get 15 pins. And it'll be more than enough for Verity Crawley. She will be the number 2 seed for television at the PWBA Fountain Valley Open. Undecided on Group A. We know Kelly Kulick is in. We believe Daphne Tan is in. We don't know what Cherie Tan
Cherie
actually.
finished with a 180.
Cherie shot 180
She
and
lost to Maria.
lost the match. So 180 would drop her to plus 318. Maria wins the match. And we'll add 32 pins, looks like, to her total. And so they, let's see, 319. She would move ahead by 1 pin, unofficially. Maria
All right,
over
ladies and gentlemen, that
Cherie
concludes
Tan.
our match play.
Unsure
How about a
what
great
Cassandra
round of
Leuthold
applause
shot.
for the ladies in the final
And we're
performance
going to find out here
here at
shortly.
the PWBA
We know
Down
Kelly
South
Kulick
Open.
and Verity Crawley are in.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our finalists. Your tournament leader and the top seed for the show, please put your hands together for Miss Kelly Kulick.
Kelly
B,
Kulick.
Group B, put your hands together for her first tournament this season, Verity Crawley.
The first tournament she bowled this season, she will be on TV.
For our TV
Number
step
2
ladder
seed.
finals. Now for our group step ladder final that will begin this evening at 5 p.m. We're going to start with Group A. The number 4 qualifier from Singapore, Cherie Tan. Her opponent in the opening match will be our number 3 qualifier, Maria Rodriguez. And the winner of that match will go on to meet our number 2 qualifier, Daphne Tan. We're going to switch over to Group B, the number 4 qualifier from Singapore, Shayna. Her opponent in the opening match will be our number 3 seed, Liz Johnson. And the winner of that match will go on to face the number 2 qualifier, Clara Guerrero.
All right, so Clara Guerrero, Liz Johnson, and Shayna Ung
These
in
are your finalists,
Group
ladies
B.
and gentlemen. How about one more round of
Unfortunately, that
applause
meant
for all of
Shannon
them?
O'Keefe. By virtue of her 187, Shayna Ung won that match, and she just missed out by a couple of pins.
Will begin at 5 p.m. We'll see you back here in about 1 hour.
Well, all right, so Kelly Kulick, Verity Crawley on the show. Congratulations to Kelly. Made the most championship round appearances in the last couple of years. Hasn't yet to win a title. She's the top seed. Of course, Verity Crawley, first event of the season as a member, and she makes the TV show. Very impressive there. And then our group step ladder finals, Daphne Tan, of course, Cherie Tan, and Maria Jose Rodriguez. So obviously rooting interest for you and
3
Team
Singaporeans.
And Shayna Ung also gets into Group B step ladder final with Clara Guerrero and Liz Johnson. Should be a heck of a group step ladder final. Jazzy, I want to thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Appreciate your insight, and the viewers appreciate it as well. Folks, don't forget, in just 1 hour, we will have the group step ladder finals coming up for you next, right here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. So for Matt Cannizzaro, Jazreel Tan, I'm Emil Williams Jr. Talk to you soon in an hour. This is Bowl TV on Extra Frame.